Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Starbase. Now Starbase continues to make very good progress, and over the past few months Frozenbyte have released a number of videos as well as regular information providing some insight into the development of the game. Now a recent episode of their series called Boltcrackers, that's a series that dives into a variety of features, took a close look at boarding countermeasures. Now as the game is in essence a huge sandbox, it means that players will always be coming up with inventive things in the game. An example of such inventiveness was shown using the cargo containers, which essentially freeze objects in a sealed environment, and using this tech it was possible to trap a moving missile. In fact, using the game's mechanics in creative ways, it appears that it will be possible to manufacture all manner of traps, a great boon for the inventive trolling. So the reason this actually works so well is very simple. In short, it's possible to move any object in the game, and in the case of building traps, this means that weaponry and explosives can be used, and with the ability to hide these objects and or attach them to anything else, the possibilities feel kinda like they will be endless. And it seems only natural then that players will have to use their imagination in policing these types of activities. Because you can bet that if players are willing to go out their way and create some very inventive traps, then it's also going to be just as important to try and police them and, well, keep people out of harm's way of those traps. Now of course not everyone will be creating booby traps or otherwise trolling. One of the most anticipated features of Starbase is the ability to create and design your own spaceships after all. Frozenbyte have detailed some of how the game's Spaceship Designer will actually work. So the Spaceship Designer is actually a module that exists inside the game itself, and players will be able to access it from inside workshops. And this will open the Spaceship Designer interface, and the interface itself looks to be flexible and pretty much has a similar presentation to many modern app interfaces. Ships then are built from a variety of available modules, and these assets come in many different shapes and sizes and can be pieced together as much as you would expect them to be. Now, without a doubt, many people might be wondering at this point how Starbase compares to many other space building games out there, such as Space Engineers. And the Spaceship's Designer, I think, very clearly highlights a key difference between the two games. So both games allow you to handcraft, basically put old assets down with your hands, but Starbase takes a slightly different approach when it comes to the Spaceship Designer. Rather than placing assets by hand with your avatar, you instead use the interface to design your ship in a manner that is not too dissimilar to a 3D designing tool. Using the building blocks combined with various tools, the assets can be placed and moved around. Frozenbyte demonstrated the design of a basic ship, first by using the interface to build the ship's frame, and in case you're wondering how long this process may take, the developers have also included a number of tools to make the entire process that bit simpler. For example, the Auto Bolt tool allows you to bolt everything together that needs bolting with just a single click. However, things can still be manually bolted where and when or needed, or also if desired. Now further tools include the Durability tool, which highlights potential structural issues with the ship's design, which I suspect is something I'll be making good use of. I can be a bit problematic when it comes to designing vehicles and ships. Now in addition to the various assets such as the beams and whatnot that you can see on the screen here, the Spaceship Designer also contains modules which appear to be ready built pieces that you can then use and add into your ship's design. So basically doorways and windows, things that you've manually created elsewhere. Naturally, all parts of the ships can be duplicated where needed, therefore speeding up the design time pretty significantly. In order to function as a ship, the ship will of course need the relevant components, and this can include things such as thrusters, power generators, fuel tanks, pilot chairs and more. Now with these modules in place, power will need to be moved around the ship so that they're basically powered, and this can be done by connecting things together with cabling. And in much the same vein, pipes meanwhile need to be used to run fuel from the necessary areas. It's also vital to ensure that all parts of the ship are correctly labelled so that the flight computer can effectively do its job. So in the example video, the ship was of course extremely basic, but the point of the video wasn't to show off the advanced ships, but instead to show off the power of the design tool itself. And from what we can see, it certainly looks as though the Spaceship Designer is going to be both very flexible as well as very powerful. And personally, I already have some ship designs in mind that I want to design. Some of them are from my own imagination, whilst others are from fond childhood memories. From what I can see then, it appears that the tool will certainly be capable of achieving all this. And what's more, the tool can also be used in combination with other people, which means that you can design a ship together with others at the same time, so that's a very, very nice touch. So once again, it's great to see all these features coming together from Frozenbyte. I think they are a leading example of how a game should be developed and giving the players and viewers insight into what is actually going on. Very, very nice and always very welcome. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.